a stitch bird. Today I show you my latest sewing makes. Some of them I've done individual videos on. However, this is a bulk lot that I've been making over the last month and a bit. So all sewn by me, and I'm really excited to show you my collection, which go into my full wardrobe. Anyway, the first one up is, and I'm just going to be looking down at my notes to remember which is which. My first one is the Rosy top by Kenneth Wong Itch to Stitch. And I think I just previewed this in my last video. It's got the cute wee scarf tie. I made a size 16. I think I would size up next time. It's really quite cute. I wasn't sure about it. I wore it out the other night and I actually quite enjoyed it just with a layer over the top. Very cute, comfy to wear. I just made it in a synthetic stretch just to try the pattern out. Really recommend her book too. Lots of really cool patterns. So that is my first one off the rack. Next one, another one of Itch to Stitch. And I'm about to cut another one of these out. I want to do a plain version. This is the Margarelle shirt and dress pattern. I obviously did the shirt, and I entered this in the blouse 24 competition. I made one wee change on this. I added some shirring around the wrists. Really enjoyed doing that. Can't wait to try that again. I omitted the frill. I decided the pattern was busy enough without adding the frill. It's buttoned totally down the front, has a slightly shaped curve in the bottom, which I think is really flattering. I really like the curved hemlines. Plenty of room in the sleeves. It's a nice fit, but I think I would do the full bust option next time. I made a size 16 in this one as well. Really comfy top, very forgiving, especially I've got extra weight around here and it's just floats over those areas. Really amazing pattern. Next top I made was the Alia Mac Bridget Dolman. I just made this out of scraps just to try the pattern out. Really keen to try this again. This one I added, I guess 4 different fabrics. So I've got this sort of tealy blue one, plain navy, red, and then I've got the blue and white stripe for the cuff. The thing I like about this pattern is they have lots of different cuff versions and sleeve versions. And the fact that you can have it as a solid, or you can change it up with using mix and match fabrics. You could do a pattern, you could do a plain. Obviously you can do it short sleeves. The sleeve's just a added on piece. The only difference, or the only alteration I made to this pattern, and this one I made an XXL because I wanted it nice and loose fitting. But I did add a little bit around the lower hip because it kind of went in a little bit. So I added a little bit in there just to give me a little bit of extra room. The length wasn't too bad. Don't know whether I'd need to add anything on there. On my version I added a ribbed band around the neck and top stitched it down just to make it sit nice. So that was my Alia Mac Bridget. As I'm going through these, if I have pics of me wearing them, I will put pictures up there as well, so you can see how I have worn them with other pieces. Next off the rank is the Largo Cargos by Love Notions. And that's my dog growling in the background. For some reason, he's seeing someone out the window that he is not keen on. Anyway. My Largo Cargos. Now I did a lot of, I guess, fitting with these to try and figure out what was the best size. I think I'm between sizes in these. I actually made a size 20, but I think I need to go down to a size 18 and then just grade out to a 20. I did have to knit these ones in at the sides, but it was easy enough to do around the waist because you want them fairly firm. You don't want them falling down. I really like the leg on them. The leg is just a straight through leg, very flattering. I like all the pockets. And instead of tucking under the allowances on these, and I'll talk about that in my video that I've done on the Lago Cargos, I've done a separate video on these. I decided to line all the pockets, and to be fair, it worked out really, really good. So I did that on the patch pockets at the back, and I didn't have enough fabric for the navy pockets, so I decided to go with this khaki accent, which I have through my little capsule wardrobe here. So it worked out good. All I did with these ones is I just bagged out around these edges and the edge of the pocket, and then the other edges were raw that went into the seams. And I think that was about it. I was so pleased with the fit. I actually made a khaki pair as well, but to be fair, I haven't worn these as much, but I think as the weather gets a bit cooler here in New Zealand, I will start to wear, more pants and things. So these ones have got the matching pockets. I decided to put the wee side pocket on. I also did the wee strap. I probably would omit that next time for work because I work in like a workshop and it tends to get caught on things, but for wearing out is absolutely fine. I've got the wee belt loops, and yeah, it's just a really cool. They actually look like cargos being in the green, so really wrapped with those. And I tried to match the wee button on the side with the jacket that I have made to go with these. I have worn it once as a suit, but to be fair, I think I'll be wearing the pieces separately, so that will be coming up very soon in my little collection. So that was the Lago Cargos. I did use the full belly option, so that's why I think I can downsize, but just maybe allow a little bit at the hips, because it's not until you sit down that you realise you need that little bit of extra room. The other thing I thought about doing was using a material with a slight stretch, and that would give a little bit of ease around that area. So I would definitely make these again. I'd like to make them a summer version or a spring version coming up, maybe in a lighter colour. So that's on my list to do's. The next pattern again is pants or bottoms. In this pattern, I just can't remember how many times I've made it, but it's probably at least a half a dozen times. Really, really recommend it. Great for a beginning sized. These are the Allegro bottoms, and I just needed a plain black pair of pants that were comfy, easy to wear, that I could dress up or down. I went for this gorgeous, I don't know what it is. It's a cross between a crepe, it's like a double crepe, but it's not stretchy. So I did add, I normally make an extra large, but I just added a little bit more in because they weren't stretchy around the seams. These pants are fantastic. They feel great on. I wore them to work the other day and comfy. So I did the pockets, the little side pockets. I did the faux fly, don't really can see that on the camera, you might be able to. The wee tie, and they've got elastic around the waist. I added the back patch pockets because I just think it makes them look a little bit more interesting. I was going to add the little denim studs on them, but I decided not to. I have made a pair of these in white denim, and just to make them sort of look more jeans style, I added the little jeans rivets around the pockets and things, but I decided just to keep these plain so I could dress them up or down. Really, really wrapped with these. I'm going to wear these a lot over the next season also. So that was the Allegro Love Notions. Whilst we're still on Love Notions, the next one I have, of course, is the Aurora dress, and I think I've previewed this navy one before. Really awesome fit. I made an extra large. The only thing I did was just added probably an inch overall around the hips. Because it's a stretch fabric, I didn't want it to be really tight around my hip area, and I'm glad I did that. It just really just sort of skims my hips. Really like the length. It sort of goes just sort of below the knee. Can wear it with tights and boots in the winter and dress it up with scarves and jewelry. It's just great to have a plain navy dress. You could do it in black, and it could be your little black dress for you know, sort of trans-seasonal fall, winter, spring. Really like the wee pockets. I think I said in my previous video on this dress, I wasn't sure about them, but I think they just add a bit of detail, and it's very clever how it's all put together with the seam, and the seams cut up the front, which is very flattering. The V is a perfect length. It's not too low, it's not too high. Because I love this dress so much, I decided to make a pattern one, which I haven't shown you yet. So I made it in this really cool, and I'll bring the fabric up to the camera, very cool stretch. It's a floral / leopard print, and I wore this on my birthday, and it was so comfy to wear. I just wore it with black boots and jewelry, and it was just so cute. I did the pockets in the front, really pleased. It's nice having a little bit of colour too. I think I wore it with, I think I might have worn it with a bright blue. I think I bought this blue colour out. I think I wore that blue colour with the dress. Can't remember what the jacket was, but anyway, I was really pleased with the result. And it's quite, once you get your head around this bit here, it's actually a really simple pattern to whip up, and it's just a very forgiving pattern on this area around here, which I struggle with. So that was my 2 Aurora dresses, and as I said, I made the extra large, just added a little bit into the hips. So that was all for that one. The next one is, of course, my smitten jacket, and I've got it teamed here with my Stella and Gemma scarf. This is the same fabric that I made my logo cargos in. This is the smitten jacket by Pattern Emporium, and as I said, I used the same buttons. So I did the faux, these are actually faux pockets in a way because I've stitched the button all the way through. I've done the collar, and I did the tall cropped version, size 18 full bust, because I didn't want it to be too tight. I can do this up really easily if I want to wear it done up. I really liked how this jacket turned out. I liked the elastic in the sleeves and around the bottom. I've top stitched all the seams down just to make it sort of jeans style looking. And I've got another one of these cut out to take on. I've got a trip coming up. We're going to the Gold Coast, and I've got one cut out in a really cool eyeletted, heavier weight. I don't know what it is. It's a really unusual fabric, but it's got sort of a little cream color with eyelets in it, and I think it's going to be quite cute. So I'm going to make that up as just an extra layer to take. Yeah, so really pleased. I've worn this already heaps. I've worn it over my Aurora dress. I've worn it with my navy Largo cargos with the green pockets. Really cute piece. Moving on, I did 2 of these, and this is the Quinn cardigan 5 out of 4 patterns. I sort of wanted to experiment a wee bit with this because I don't really like plain boring cardigans too much. So this one here is in a mesh, and I wasn't sure about it, but I wore it out the other day and I got a few comments on it. It is actually quite cute. It has the placket down the front, or the binding in the front is actually in a woven, which you can do because they say in the pattern if you're using the stretch for the bit down the front to interface it anyway, so there won't be any stretch. I actually put on my own pockets. If I did this again, I'd probably steal the pockets from the Smitten jacket because I think these pockets just a little bit too big. I think that's potentially what the problem is. So I might even whip these off yet and do the Smitten size ones. I've just got the bands for the sleeve, bands around the bottom in the self material, the collars in the same material, and pretty much it is just overlocked together apart from the extra stitching down the front and things. And it's just a nice cover up just to wear over a long sleeve top. I wore it with jeans I think the other day and a navy top, and it was just something a bit different to wear with that. Now this one here I did make in a 2 extra large, and I should have just made the extra large. And my second one I made was in a heavier fabric, and I probably should have made that in a slightly bigger size. But anyway, you learn from experimenting, and I still will wear this, but it's just a little bit firm doing it up. So this one is the Quinn cardigan, but it looks more like a jacket. So this one here I did all in the same fabric. So we've got the band down the front and the houndstooth. I stole the Smitten jacket pocket pieces, put them on the cross, and did the pockets on the front in the houndstooth. I've added some cute wee gold buttons. I think these are vintage. They were out of my button stash. And I've worn this a few times also. I've worn this over my Aurora navy dress. It looked cute over my green rosy top. So yeah, a really cool piece. Also great with my Allegro black pants that I've just made, and I can wear a nice bright top because black isn't really my colour on this spring, so I'm supposed to wear bright colours. So what I do is I just brighten up wearing a bright scarf and maybe or a bright top. So I could wear red under this, which would look really cool. So it's a way of getting around. I just don't feel right. I don't know about you guys. I don't kind of feel right in the middle of winter going out in a really bright colour. Everyone else is wearing really dark colours. So how I get around that is I just wear a brighter scarf or bright accessories, like a bright red handbag with this can look quite cool. So it's just ways of getting around these things. Right, we're nearly getting to the end. Last but not least, and I'm going to be making another one of these. I've made, I don't know, it could be up to about half a dozen of these. This is the Metro Blazer by Love Notions. I think it's one of their most popular patterns. This is made in a navy ponte type fabric. I made this probably in the morning. I had it cut out, whipped it up. I normally go for the shawl collar, but I'm going to do a black suede jacket for going out at night, and I'll be doing the other version with the big collar. And there is a version that Karina from Lifting Pins and Needles does, where in the suede version she doesn't overlock or do anything to her seams apart from top stitch them down, and she doesn't line the collar. And I've made one already in a gorgeous sort of a salmon-y pink, and I've had so many comments on it, so I'm going to make a black one exactly the same. So the biggest thing for cutting out something like that is I generally use my wheel to cut it out, so I get nice, really perfect edges, because since I'm not doing anything to them, I want them to look really neat. Anyhow, this one here is just overlocked together apart from the collar, stitched. I've already worn this a ton already. It's just really, really nice to wear. It's like wearing a cardigan, but a bit more dressier, and I think that's kind of where I'm at. I don't want to just slot around in a cardigan unless I'm at home, so I like to dress up a bit, or I tend to wear a lot of basics, so my layer on top I want it to be a little bit dressy. So Metro Blazer, strongly recommend it. Now I make an extra large in this one, And I think this one here in particular, I changed to a full bust option, just to give me a little bit of room in the front. And yeah, I'm just really wrapped with it. Definitely make another one of those coming up very soon. So talking about my sewing plans, I need to come up with a wee capsule for my holiday to Gold Coast. So that's what I'm going to be working on over the next couple of weeks. So I'll bring you some of those makes. And looking forward to catching up again. I think that's it for today. This is one of my longest videos for a wee while. Still waiting for my room to be finished in the shed, where I'll be moving my sewing room in. I have a much better filming area, and I'll have it all set up, all my resources at my fingertips. I just can't wait. It's taking a bit longer than we expected. Had it painted, waiting for the electrician, supposed to be coming this week, but I don't know. Next week, got the flooring going in, so hopefully by the end of next week, I'll be moving in. So if that happens, I will maybe give you a wee sneak preview of that. Anyhow, thanks for staying. If you stayed to the end of this video, appreciate your support. Please subscribe. Any comments, contact me and I'll get right back to you. Anyway, cheers now. Bye.